Let's move on now to the Philadelphia Eagles training camp preview. Ryan and I, we're going to break down the top stories coming into the Eagles training camp, which includes all of the replacement pieces that the Eagles got for several of the veteran members that they lost in retirement or moving on to different teams. And also, can that mean that the Eagles can still be one of the top offenses and defenses in the league entering the 2023 season? But before we break down why those are the top stories, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you have not already. Ryan and I, we are doing a training camp preview for all 32 teams, as well as weekly prediction videos throughout the entire regular season, where we will be breaking down each game and who we think will win. If you want to see those videos and see all the Eagle prediction videos throughout the regular season, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notified when those videos are released. And Ryan, let's get into it here.
Let's do it.
The Eagles it was one of the most fun teams to watch in recent memory that I can remember. And just because of the way that they played football, we beat you in so many different ways. I love their kind of almost smash mouth style of football, running over guys. And so, but they lost a lot of pieces. They lost both their offensive and defensive coordinator. They did lose Andre Dillard. They also lost Isaac Samalo as well on the offensive line. And that's where, to me, I think it's going to be, can the pieces that replace those, especially on the offensive side of the ball, let's focus on the offensive side first.
Yeah.
Can they replace the void that was created so then the Eagles can maintain their dominance as well? They did also lose Miles Sanders as well at the running back position. I don't think that's as crucial as the offensive line because they were able to get DeAndre Swift and then also Rashad Penny, who I think they can replace the stats of Miles Sanders and still also bring that same effect that Sanders brought for half the cost. For me, it's the offensive side of the ball, or the offensive line that is going to be where if they can maintain their dominance. And so now, in our lads, Tyler Steen is the starting right guard, but I also know Cam Jurgens could potentially play that spot. Also, it looks like Jordan Mailata is the starting left tackle right now. I'm pretty sure replacing Andre Dillard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, Andre Dillard was kind of their swing tackle.
Oh, is he swing tackle? Never mind that. So, because I thought I saw Mailata play. So, either way, though, it's going to be, can they maintain that cohesion, especially filling the void in that right guard spot moving forward, so they can continue to have that kind of smash mouth, but also play action happy, burn you deep style of offense. Yeah.
And to me, that all started up front with them. They were able to control the line of scrimmage in just about every single game that they played. One of the things that was very impressive last year was their quarterback sneak conversion rate. I think they converted 97% of their quarterback sneaks, which is just insane. So can they keep that same physicality? One of the things, you look at Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, the core of this offensive line is getting older. I want to say both of those guys are approaching their mid-30s.
I think you're thinking of Lane Johnson, not Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson's young.
Yeah, Lane Johnson, sorry. The core of this offensive line is getting older. So that it'll be interesting to kind of see that play out. Jalen Hurts had a really good 2022. Does he kind of come back down to earth, or does he continue to build on and improve what he was able to do in 2022?
And that's where I think that's where I'm curious. That's where then the loss of Shane Steichen it will come into play, and can the new OC Brian Johnson kind of maintain that mantra and that motion, that momentum of offensive dominance? Because I think what played really well with the Eagles and where Jalen Hurts thrives is that play action RPO type style. Like, not saying he can't drop back, he has improved immensely in that, where he like picking off on your reads. But they were so dominant in the running game that they would just suck guys forward, and then they beat you deep with Devontae Smith or AJ Brown. It was just like that over and over again. And then we haven't even talked about Dallas Goedert as well, who I really like him tied in this offense. So it's just going to be, can the replacement pieces continue that momentum, easily like fill in and fill those voids that were lost. And the same could be said on the defensive side as well. That's where age might become a little bit of a factor. They did lose Javon Hargrave, but they replaced him with Jalen Carter. So, but that being said, though, Jalen Carter is the youngest on this defensive front by several years. Josh Sweat was drafted in 2018, Fletcher Cox was drafted in 2012, and Brandon Graham was drafted in 2010. So that's the starting front four on the defensive side, according to our lads. So can they maintain that momentum? I know they have a lot of other guys on the defensive side of the ball. They're younger and a lot of other places on the defense side. The defensive front, which is where I felt they were so dominant last year, also kind of led by Javon Hargrave. And Carter come in and step in and fill that void and continue that dominance.
Yeah, so they lost Jonathan Gannon, as you said, and that actually, in my opinion, could be the bigger coordinator loss because Nick Sirianni, I think, also played a hand in the offensive side of the ball as well. But this defense, Darius Slay also getting older. They also lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson and T.J. Edwards, the linebacker, and so they lost major pieces at every level of this defense. And yeah, Jalen Carter could come in and be close to, I think, what Javon Hargraves did in his rookie season. But is this defense just going to be as well-rounded all around as they were last year? So that's going to be another interesting thing to say. And I do want to add a little tidbit. I still think the Eagles are going to win this division. I still think they're Super Bowl contenders. It's just when you lose so many, one, key coaches, you lose both your coordinators, then you lose, I think Javon Hargrave was their sack leader in 2022. If not, he played a very big role in a lot of the sacks that they had. And then Isaac Samalo and Andre Dillard were, I don't want to say impact players on this offensive line, but Isaac Samalo more than Andre Dillard, but they played key roles and they had roles, and they just didn't necessarily, in my opinion, do a whole lot to really replace those guys.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's where I almost kind of knew, like, with their, like, where they were drafted, like they knew they had 2 first-round picks. They address the defensive line at both spots. Well, I guess it depends on where Nolan Smith is technically. Technically, he's a linebacker, but I always thought he was more of an edge rusher. So
yeah, he is. He is
okay,
an edge rusher.
Right. So I think they maybe knew that, like, what they could go and get potentially in the draft. Also, as well, they didn't have as much cap space. So that's where just curious. But I feel like people made that mistake last year with the Chiefs. Like, they lost so much. What are they going to do? Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
And you look at it, the Chiefs came through in a dominant AFC, and the NFC is nowhere near as dominant. Like, I think the Eagles can absolutely come back and do this again. But you're right, though. It's just the key pieces that they lost and the young pieces that are coming in to replace them. Can they at least marginally replace what was lost?
Exactly.
So that's going to be the story to watch at training camp. Like what is the overall gel flow development of these young pieces? Yeah,
no, definitely. And how effective does this offense look? Is this? I know it's kind of hard to tell in training camp, but is this pass rush the same as it was in 2022?
Just better with Jalen Carter.
It could be better. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting training camp, I think, for the Eagles, and I'm excited to watch them kind of grow throughout 2023. So let's go ahead and wrap up the Eagles training camp preview there. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on what you think of the Eagles going into 2023. You think they're going to be right back in the Super Bowl where they left off, or do you think they're going to take a step back after losing so many pieces this offseason? Let us know down below. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.